The Baxter family home buzzed with excitement. Catherine and Daniel Baxter, both 32, had finally tied the knot after years of dating. Their wedding day was the epitome of elegance, held at a sprawling vineyard in Napa Valley. With a warm Californian sun overhead, they exchanged heartfelt vows in front of family and friends, their love seemingly boundless. Daniel, a financial analyst known for his charm and charisma, had swept Catherine off her feet when they met at a corporate event. Catherine, an interior designer, was deeply in love with him and often gushed about his kindness and support. Their wedding day was a dream come true for her. The reception was equally magical, with fairy lights twinkling above and the melody of a live jazz band filling the air. Speeches from friends and family painted a rosy picture of the couple's future, but the most emotional speech came from Daniel's best man, Liam Hart, his childhood friend. Liam spoke of their bond, built on years of trust and shared secrets, and how happy he was to see Daniel with Catherine. As the night wore on, Catherine retired early, citing exhaustion from the whirlwind day. Daniel and Liam, however, stayed up, sharing drinks and laughter in the quiet of the garden patio. Guests assumed they were simply enjoying their last moments together before Daniel left for his honeymoon. The next morning, the housekeeper's scream shattered the peaceful silence. Catherine rushed downstairs to find Daniel's lifeless body sprawled on the patio. His face was bruised, and his head rested in a pool of blood. A heavy candlestick, smeared with red, lay nearby. A clear murder weapon. Panic engulfed Catherine as she called 911. When the police arrived, Detective Claire Monroe, a seasoned investigator, took charge. Claire was known for her sharp intuition and ability to untangle the most twisted cases. Daniel's death shocked everyone, but the details that began to emerge were even more startling. Forensic analysis revealed that Daniel had died around 4 a.m., hours after the wedding celebrations had ended. Fingerprints on the candlestick matched multiple individuals. Adding to the confusion, Liam Hart, who had been the last person seen with Daniel, was brought in for questioning. The usually confident best man appeared rattled, his composure shaken. In the dimly lit interrogation room, Detective Monroe wasted no time. "Liam, you were the last person seen with Daniel," she began, her tone neutral but firm. "What happened after the reception?" Liam fidgeted in his chair, avoiding her gaze. "We had a few drinks, talked about old times, nothing out of the ordinary. Did you leave together?" "No, I went to my room around 2 a.m., Liam claimed, his voice faltering slightly. "Daniel said he wanted to stay out a bit longer." Detective Monroe noted the hesitation in his response. "Can anyone corroborate your whereabouts after 2 a.m.? I don't think so. I went straight to bed," Liam stammered. Monroe pressed further. "Were you and Daniel arguing about anything? Any tension between you?" Liam's face darkened. "No, Daniel was my best friend. Why would I hurt him?" As the investigation unfolded, Catherine, distraught and inconsolable, revealed an odd detail. Earlier that night, she had overheard snippets of a heated argument between Daniel and Liam on the patio. She hadn't thought much of it at the time. Chalking it up to wedding stress, detectives found a text message on Daniel's phone that added a chilling dimension to the case. Sent at 3:45 a.m., it read, "We need to talk. This can't happen again." The recipient, Liam Hart. Liam was taken aback when confronted with the evidence. "I swear, I don't know what that means," he insisted. "We didn't argue. We just talked about our lives, our plans. That's it." But as Detective Monroe dug deeper, a pattern of secrets began to emerge. Daniel and Liam's relationship, it seemed, wasn't as straightforward as it appeared. Witnesses came forward with cryptic remarks about the close bond between Daniel and Liam. One guest, a cousin of Daniel's, recalled seeing the two men in an intimate conversation during the reception, their body language unusually tense, and then there was the discovery of an unregistered hotel room booked in Liam's name. It was located just a mile from the vineyard. Surveillance footage showed Liam checking into the room around 11 p.m., only to leave again 2 hours later. Detective Claire Monroe decided to dig deeper into Liam's background and his relationship with Daniel. What she found raised even more questions. Liam had a history of strained friendships and frequent relocations. Former acquaintances described him as charismatic but intense, someone who could be fiercely loyal but prone to explosive arguments. The unregistered hotel room became a focal point of the investigation. Monroe's team uncovered traces of blood on a washcloth in the bathroom. DNA analysis confirmed it was Daniel's blood. When confronted, Liam broke into a cold sweat. "I don't know how that got there," he stammered. "I didn't hurt Daniel, I swear." Just as the case seemed to circle around Liam, a new lead emerged. A Vineyard staff member, Maggie Jensen, came forward. Maggie had been working the night of the wedding and claimed she saw Liam and Daniel on the patio around 3 a.m. "They were arguing," Maggie said nervously. "It got pretty heated. I didn't stick around to hear everything, but Liam stormed off toward the parking lot." This statement cast further suspicion on Liam. However, Maggie added an unexpected twist. She saw someone else lurking near the patio later that night, a tall man wearing a dark jacket. His face wasn't clear in the dim light, but Maggie was certain he wasn't one of the wedding guests. Detective Monroe now had two possible suspects, Liam and an unidentified intruder. She ordered her team to review security footage from nearby properties, hoping to catch a glimpse of the mysterious figure. Meanwhile, Catherine made a startling discovery. While sifting through Daniel's belongings, she found an envelope hidden in his desk. Inside were several printed emails exchanged between Daniel and Liam. The messages were emotional, sometimes heated, and hinted at a romantic relationship between the two men. In one email, dated 6 months before the wedding, Liam wrote, "We can't keep hiding this. You need to tell her the truth, or I will." Catherine handed the letters to Detective Monroe, her hands trembling. "I had no idea. I thought they were just friends." The revelation painted a darker picture. Had Liam been jealous of Catherine, or had Daniel ended the affair to commit fully to his marriage? Detective Monroe couldn't ignore the possibility that Liam's feelings of betrayal had led to murder. The investigation took another unexpected turn when security footage revealed the tall man Maggie mentioned. He was spotted walking toward the Vineyard entrance around 3:30 a.m., then leaving in a hurry around 4:15 a.m. Using enhanced imaging, the police identified him as Owen Clark, a freelance photographer who had worked at the wedding. When Monroe tracked him down, Owen seemed cooperative at first, but grew defensive when asked about his movements that night. "I left after finishing my work," he insisted. "I didn't see anything unusual." But Monroe wasn't convinced. Owen had no prior connection to Daniel or Catherine, yet his behavior seemed evasive. A search of his apartment uncovered photographs from the wedding, most of them standard shots, but a few showed Daniel and Liam in candid, intimate moments. "Care to explain these?" Monroe asked, placing the photos in front of Owen during an interrogation. Owen shifted uncomfortably. "I was hired to capture everything. Those moments just happened." Monroe pressed further. "Were you blackmailing Daniel with these?" Owen's silence spoke volumes. As evidence mounted, Monroe faced a dilemma. Liam's connection to the victim was deeply personal, and his hotel alibi was crumbling. But Owen's presence and the incriminating photos suggested an ulterior motive, perhaps extortion gone wrong. Forensic analysis of Owen's camera revealed deleted files from the wedding night, which the tech team managed to recover. One video, recorded around 3:40 a.m., showed Daniel angrily confronting Owen near the patio. The audio was faint, but snippets of their conversation could be made out. "Daniel, you've crossed the line." Owen, "Delete those now." Owen, "Not a chance. Pay up, or everyone sees them." Detective Claire Monroe was at a crossroads. The investigation had revealed two strong suspects with compelling motives. Liam's emotional entanglement with Daniel and his presence at the scene painted a damning picture, while Owen's blackmail attempt and suspicious actions added another layer of intrigue. The case took a sharper turn when forensic analysis of the candlestick, the murder weapon, revealed two distinct sets of fingerprints, Liam's and Owen's. This discovery complicated the narrative. Was this a collaborative crime, or was one of them trying to frame the other? Monroe decided to push Liam further, armed with the new evidence. "Liam, we found your fingerprints on the weapon," Monroe said, her voice steady but firm. "We also know about your relationship with Daniel. Tell me the truth. What happened that night?" Liam's face turned pale. "I "I didn't kill him," he stammered. "Yes, I touched the candlestick, but it wasn't like that." We argued. He wanted to cut me off completely after the wedding, said he needed to focus on his new life. I was angry, but I left before anything else happened. Monroe leaned in. "Then why did Daniel send you that text? We need to talk. This can't happen again." "What couldn't happen again?" Tears welled in Liam's eyes. "I don't know. Maybe he was scared someone would find out about us." Monroe studied him carefully. His emotions seemed genuine, but she couldn't ignore the mounting evidence against him. The focus then shifted to Owen. Monroe brought him in for further questioning, this time confronting him with the footage of his argument with Daniel. "You were blackmailing him," Monroe stated bluntly. "And now we have your fingerprints on the murder weapon. What really happened?" Owen, visibly shaken, denied everything. "I didn't kill him. Yes, I wanted money. He could afford it, but I didn't touch him. I left after our argument." "Your prints were on the candlestick," Monroe snapped. "Explain that." Owen hesitated. I picked it up earlier in the evening, maybe while I was setting up my gear. That's all." Monroe wasn't buying it. "You had a motive, Owen. Blackmail is one thing, but when he threatened to expose you, did you snap?" "I swear, I didn't kill him," Owen yelled, his voice cracking. "You're wasting time on me when it's obvious who did it." Liam, just as the case appeared to stagnate, another unexpected lead emerged. A wedding guest, Sophie Carlson, reached out to the police with new information. Sophie, a light sleeper, admitted she had seen someone sneaking around the patio area around 4 a.m. "It wasn't Liam," Sophie said. "I saw Owen walking away, looking flustered. He had something in his hands. It looked like a candlestick." Her statement added weight to the case against Owen. Combined with his fingerprints and the deleted footage on his camera, Monroe began to piece together a plausible sequence of events. Still, Sophie's testimony didn't entirely clear Liam, whose argument with Daniel might have set everything in motion. The breakthrough came when forensic analysts re-examined the bloodied washcloth from Owen's hotel room. It contained not just Daniel's blood, but also trace amounts of Owen's DNA, indicating he had been injured during a struggle. Confronted with this evidence, Owen finally broke. "Yes, I argued with Daniel," he confessed. "He refused to pay me, and things got heated. I threatened to ruin him, but he lunged at me first. I grabbed the candlestick in self-defense. I didn't mean to kill him. It just happened so fast." Monroe was unimpressed. "So why did you delete the footage and try to frame Liam?" Owen hesitated before replying. "I panicked. I thought if I could shift the blame onto him, no one would look at me. Everyone knew about their relationship. It was the perfect cover." On July 7, 2023, Owen Clark was formally charged with the murder of Daniel Baxter. His confession, coupled with the physical evidence, secured his conviction. Liam Hart, while emotionally devastated, was cleared of any wrongdoing. The trial, which concluded months later, revealed the full extent of the tragic events. Owen had exploited Daniel's secret affair with Liam to extort money, but when Daniel refused to comply, Owen lashed out, killing him in a fit of rage. His attempt to frame Liam nearly succeeded, but the forensic evidence and testimonies exposed the truth. The conviction of Owen Clark brought a measure of closure to Daniel Baxter's murder. The trial laid bare the tragic consequences of hidden lives, manipulation, and unchecked emotions. Owen was sentenced to 25 years in prison for second-degree murder, a penalty that reflected both the severity of his crime and the mitigating factors of the struggle for Liam Hart. The aftermath was bittersweet. Cleared of suspicion, he was left to grapple with the loss of his closest friend and the end of a relationship that had been both a source of love and pain. He moved out of town, seeking a fresh start away from the shadow of Daniel's death. Catherine Baxter faced a different kind of recovery. The revelations about Daniel's affair with Liam and Owen's blackmail scheme left her questioning everything she knew about her husband. Despite her grief, Catherine found solace in the support of her family and friends, eventually channeling her pain into advocacy work for victims of domestic betrayal and emotional abuse. Detective Claire Monroe, though satisfied with solving the case, reflected on the complexity of human relationships and the devastating consequences of secrets left to fester. No one walked away from this unscathed, she remarked in a quiet moment to a colleague. It's not just about catching the killer, it's about the lives left in ruins.